So far we have a few people. All right. Hi everyone, I hope you're all having a great day so far, and you are in for a fun, interactive presentation about Indian River County. Before we begin, we just have a few more people that have to hop on Zoom, so we might be waiting just a few more minutes and give them time to hop on. But I'll just get started a little bit. So with these crazy times, this is definitely a new and fun way to learn about our beautiful county. Consider this a virtual vacation. We want you to relax, enjoy, and ask questions and really immerse yourselves in the videos that we're showing. If you have any questions at all throughout this presentation, please feel free to put them in the chat box. And if you don't know about our county right now, you're going to know a lot more at the end of this. I encourage you to come and visit us when you feel comfortable. We're located right on the east coast of Florida in the Treasure Coast region, and we're just really excited to have such a great group of panelists and viewers on the line today. And we hope you find Indian River County as wonderful as we think it is. Just a few housekeeping items. We'd like for you to turn off your video and mute yourself until the very end of this presentation. And if you have any questions, like I said, please put them in the chat. And we're just gonna wait a few more minutes. Looks like we've got a good group of people on the line today. We've got lots of great panelists, from a foodie expert to Nicole, who has a lot of expertise in treasure hunting, Kendra Cope with Coastal Connections. She's very knowledgeable about our environment, and sea turtles, which are one of my favorite animals that you get to see in Indian River County. And then we have Lee Hunter with Kimpton Vero Beach Hotel and Spa. We've got a really great group here today, and Kirk Fennell as well, the Director of Tourism, which you'll get to meet later. And then also JT Fisher, who is running this beautiful presentation about Indian River County. And he'll be working with me on pausing and getting to just work in the chat box as well. So, all right. Kirk, do you think we have everyone on the line that we would like?
Yep.
To get started? All right. My name is Kat Redner, and I'll be the moderator of this exciting Indian River County virtual fam trip. I'm the host of Uncovering Indian River, an award-winning social media video series highlighting the many incredible places in our county. I was lucky enough to be born and raised right here in Indian River, and I love this place that I call home. From the amazing restaurants with delicious food to all of the beautiful places that I can spend time outdoors, Indian River definitely has a special place in my heart. But I won't give away all the details about the county. Let's introduce our panelists. First up is Kirk Fennell, the Director of Tourism and Marketing for Indian River County.
Hi everyone, my name is Kirk Fennell. I'm the Director of Tourism for Visit Indian River County. I was born and raised here in Indian River County. I'm super excited to have the opportunity to share with you some great things that our area has to offer. From luxury travel to local eats, all the way to ecotourism and finding treasure on the beach. There's simply something for everyone to enjoy. This unique destination can easily become your favorite one. Thank you.
Next up, we have Lee Hunter.
Warm Island wishes, everyone. My name is Lee Hunter. I'm the Director of Sales. Kirk, I don't know if I can follow up people snorkeling with beautiful fish, but I am the Director of Sales at the Kimpton Vero Beach Hotel and Spa. We're a 4-diamond oceanfront resort that fall under the IHG umbrella. I look forward to telling you all more, not only about my resort, but about the island where we're located as well. So thanks again for joining us, everyone. We really, really, really appreciate your time.
All right, now we have Kendra.
Hey everyone, I'm Kendra Koch, the founder of Coastal Connection Inc. Vero Beach and Indian River is home to so many amazing natural resources. My favorite, of course, is our nesting beaches for the federally protected sea turtles. Coastal Connections is a 501c3 nonprofit. We're developed to incorporate you into the protection and recovery of sea turtles. So I'm excited to introduce the ways that we do that here in Vero Beach coming up very soon.
And next up, we have Nicole Johansson.
Hi, everyone. My name is Nicole Johansson. I'm the director of Mel Fisher's Treasure Museum in Sebastian. Mel Fisher was actually my grandfather, but he is known by most as the world's greatest treasure hunter. He and my grandmother were pioneers in the scuba diving and treasure hunting industries, and I look forward to telling you all about us later on. Thank you for having us.
Mel Fisher's is an amazing place to visit right here in Sebastian. It's one of my favorite locations. And last but not least, we have Thomas Miller.
Hey everybody, I'm a full-time professional food blogger known as the Treasure Coast Foodie. I reviewed over 250 local restaurants in the last 6 years, and my food photos are devoured by tens of thousands each month on my website. As a Google Maps Level 8 local guide, I've submitted over 2,500 photos that have been viewed over 30 million times. I currently have over 25,000 followers on the Treasure Coast, and my foodie meetups and chef's table events are the top culinary experiences in Indian River County.
All right, thank you so much, panelists, for introducing yourselves. Now it's time for the fun part. We wish you were beer in Indian River, so we wanted to bring Indian River County this experience to the comfort of your home. It's 5 o'clock somewhere, and it's time to crack open a cold one. If you gave us your address, you should have received 2 beers from our local breweries, American Icon Brewery and Walking Tree. Let's just take a moment to watch this short video from our Treasure Coast Wine and Ale Trail partners, and cheers to Indian River. While you're watching this video, please be sure to type all questions that you have in the chat, and we'll be sure to answer them all. Now here's a quick message from our local breweries.
Hey guys, welcome to Walking Tree Brewery here in Vero Beach, Florida. My name is Jack, this is Mike.
Hi.
And we wanted to tell you today a little bit about this special IPA that you have in front of you here. Now, we've been doing this IPA for a few years, but for us, this is brand new in a can. We just got an awesome canning line, and we wanted to debut that can with you guys to let you know what's going on here at the brewery. So we got this awesome canning line that we're gonna put IPA in, as well as a bunch of different other beers over the years of our Kolsch, our Sassy Flamingo, our Baby Cakes, and a whole bunch of other stuff. But the first one we knew we had to do was our IPA because, let's be real, it's one of our favorites here at the brewery.
Absolutely.
So, Mike, tell us a little bit about what's in this IPA.
So we wanted to make an IPA that you could drink on the beach. Wanted it light, refreshing. So we use light malts like Pilsner and flaked wheat. And then we hop it with a couple different hops, Columbus, Cascade, and Simcoe to give you that nice pine, a little bit of dank, and some good citrus in it. It comes in right at 7.1%. Super easy to drink. And it just makes an all-around great beer for being out in the sun and in the heat here in Florida.
Absolutely. So come check us out at the brewery. We're going to have these in the tasting room here very soon, as well as all this awesome history that we have at the brewery. The brewery's building was built in, what, 1945?
Yes, so this building was built by the U.S. Navy during World War II. This was an aviation training center for the Navy. They train naval pilots here. And the building that we're in today is the supply warehouse for the base. So everything for the base came here first, got sorted, and went out to where it needed to go.
That's really cool. So you get a little history lesson when you come to the brewery, as well as some great beer, and you can pick up some more of these awesome cans. Thank you guys for checking us out. Hope to see you soon at the brewery.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Hi, my name's Carl Berry. I'm the co-owner of American Icon Brewery. The guy on the left there, the guy on the right's Jesse Robles, our brewmaster. We're going to spend a little time talking about American Icon Brewery. We are a brewery and restaurant in the Vero Beach area. The brewery was opened in October of 2017. It's built inside of the municipal power plant in Vero Beach that was in operation from 1926 to 1958, powering the Vero Beach and Fort Pierce surrounding areas. The building is something special. We tried to, maintain some elements all throughout the building. One of them being one of the diesel engines that were actually being used to power the area. We're going to take a look inside here in just a second, do a quick little walkthrough downstairs. We don't have enough time to cover the entire facility, but I'd like you to check it out. We're going to peek inside through the front door here and just take a quick walk around the backside, and then we're going to cut over to Jesse Robles so he can explain the beer you're going to try. We have a decent sized menu. It's reduced because of COVID, but it's something that we thought was more practical for the brewery. We specialize in burgers and pizzas and wings and just food that you would like to enjoy with a nice fresh craft beer. So let's take a peek around and hope you enjoy yourselves. Let's go meet Jesse Robles, the brewmaster at American Icon. He's going to talk about the beer you're about to try.
All right, guys. So right now we're going to break down the beer that you're lucky enough to have gotten your hands on here. This is our Rainbow Sherbet Sour. Really special beer for us. One of the most unique beers we've put out yet. It's a dessert style sour, but it's on the lighter side, so it's very drinkable. It's got lots of fruity flavors, a little bit of sweetness to balance out that tart character from the sour beer and on all the fruit additions. It's got a nice body to it that is both creamy, but also finishes very, very light and crisp. So very drinkable, and let's crack one open and see what we got. You can see right away, it's not too hazy, not too cloudy. We like to make our dessert sours on the lighter side, nice and crisp. Still has a nice medium body. Lots of fruity aroma. It smells just like a rainbow sherbet push popper or something from the ice cream truck. A little bit of vanilla in there as well. So right up front, you're going to get a lot of juicy fruit character. Pineapple, orange, key lime, and raspberry. Those are the additions we add, along with lactose and vanilla to balance out the tart character of the fruit with that creamy dessert character. And it just really balances out really well, finishes clean, it's got a lot of flavor, and hope you enjoy this one. Cheers.
Thank you for your time. We hope you enjoy the brew and check us out next time you're in Vero Beach. Have a good one.
All right, I hope you all are enjoying the beer right now. Now it's time for some presentations from our panelists. After each panelist presents, we'll have some questions for them. And first up is Kirk Fennell.
Thanks again, Kat. Again, my name's Kirk Fennell, and I'm so happy to be here on Zoom. For me, Indian River County is home. However, I didn't really realize its beauty till I really got this job. Like the diversity this destination bestows is quite fascinating. No matter what type of traveler you are, it simply has something for everyone. One thing that a lot of people ask me is why come to Vero Beach? And I simply respond, why not? If you're a traveler that prefers the high adventure, we have skydiving, snorkeling, awesome diving, and airboat tours. If you're more of the R&R type traveler, we have luxury resorts and cheap cocktails that I know we all enjoy. Or maybe you're more of the exploration traveler, which has treasure hunting and sea turtle walks. If you're none of these, don't worry. We have other great attractions and programs that fit your need. One of the cool programs that we just came up with is Treasure Coast Kids Quest. It's a family passport program showcasing our top family attractions. We have LaPorte Farms, Mel Fisher Museum, which you're going to hear about later, ELC, Countryside Citrus, Vero Beach Museum of Art, and McKee Children's Garden, as well as this awesome Treasure Coast Wine and Ale Trail Festival, or Wine and Ale Trail, It's mostly for craft beer enthusiasts. And down here we call them enthusiasts. And we developed the TC Wine and Ale Trail, as you saw previously in that video. But obviously, don't take my word for it. Take it from an award-winning artist and producer, Gloria and Emilio Estefan.
We were looking for a place to get away from Miami, and I know that psychologically you have to travel just over the 2-hour mark. So I asked someone to look just above the 2 hours north. And when I went to Vero Beach, it was the first time I'd ever been. I fell in love with the place. It reminded me of Miami when I was a kid, that pace, that everything you wanted is there, everything you could possibly want, but it was all at a slower pace. The environmental protections that are in place were wonderful for me. That was a big deal. So we lived there in our beach house for a couple of years, and I told Emilio, I want to get more involved on the business side of Vero. Remember, babe, when I told you that, and we were going to make an investment? I didn't think at the time that it would be something like Costa d'Este of that magnitude, but I wanted people to have the same feeling that I got when I was in Vero Beach, which I call my favorite place on earth. And I thought that those very same things that drew me to the town would work great in a business scenario, because when people go there, it's driving distance to, anywhere in Florida. You could get there easily. You didn't need a passport. It was after 9/11 where a lot of people weren't traveling. And we thought, let's make a getaway that will make people feel like we feel. And that's why it's been so important for us to have top-notch service at our hotel, that when people go to Vero, they want to come back as many times as we want to come back.
Like Laura says, it's a special place for us. It's a special place for the family. And, the community is fantastic. I feel that in these difficult times, having a place that we can bring, be safe people and be able to bring some hope to the people is fantastic. So, like I say, it's a pleasure to live in Vero Beach, and we have such a great time. I hope that we can share many great moments with a great community.
By the way, I know it's grown exponentially since we were there. I think we bought our house in 2001. So that's how long we've been a part of Vero Beach in one way or another. And the growth has been incredible. And everybody that goes to Vero Beach that has come either to the hotel or because we've invited them to, because it's such a great place to be, they all come back many, many times because they are thrilled with the way things are there, the way things are run, the way the environment is protected, and the climate, which is spectacular. So we really do love Vero Beach, and I see myself spending a lot more time there.
We see you soon.
All right, so now it's time for questions with Kirk. So being an Indian River County native, what is your favorite thing to do here?
Well, there's a lot of things to do around here, but I think one of my favorites when it's the right time of season is, like you see right there, going out to the Breckenshire Wreck, going to Kempton and going to Paddles by the Sea, and be able to take the paddle boards out and just going snorkeling. It's one of the best snorkeling around once the time is right, and that's one of my favorite things, I think, to do here.
And if you have any questions, just be sure to put them in the chat right now, and we'll continue to ask those for our panelists. And at the beginning of your video, there was skydiving, and Sebastian has one of the best skydiving facilities, really. And we actually just went skydiving with Uncovering Indian River. And Kurt, can you tell me about the view and the experience of jumping out of a perfectly good airplane?
Oh, there's nothing like it, especially what our coastline is like. You can see the beautiful water, the Sebastian Inlet. You can see your house from there. So it's definitely an experience that you definitely have to come down and try if you're into that type of thing. It's definitely scary at first. I'm definitely had to get a lot of my nerves out in order to do this, but it was definitely well worth it in the end.
Exactly, and the views are amazing here in Sebastian. You get to see the beach, the inlet, all the way down, just bird's eye view of everything in our county. So it's really amazing. Kirk, do you have anything else you'd like to add?
That's it for right now. Thank you, Kat.
All right, so next up we have Lee Hunter with Kempton's Vero Beach Hotel and Spa.
Hey everyone, I just want to say, Kirk and Kat, thanks for making me follow up Gloria Estefan. Not cool at all. but I think I can try to do it a little bit. If you guys can see this, this is what we're working with right now.
Hey, that's a nice thing to work with. Not bad at all.
Right. Nice view, Lee.
Guys, you having fun at the hotel? Thank you. Thank you.
And you're at Heaton's right now, Lee?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you, Kat. What'd you say?
You're at Heaton's right now?
I'm at Heaton's, yeah, and I'm gonna talk about Heaton's a little bit more, guys. But just again, a quick overview of the resort. The Kimpton Vero Beach Hotel and Spa. We're a 4-diamond oceanfront resort. We're actually located on the island, which I'll give you a little bit more of a point of reference about that here in a couple slides. We are a very unique resort, not only within Kempton, but in any resort in the country, because 70% of our rooms are suites. So we have the majority of our rooms are a suite product. So again, great for families. As you can see, here's a few pictures. Again, I'm gonna get a little bit more in depth into this. We have 2 oceanfront restaurants with oceanfront bars, 2 very different concepts. Oh, I see somebody always says Kempton hotels are always terrific. So somebody already knows what we're dealing with. Very unique, very luxury, very high end. We do a lot of weddings here, as you can see at the bottom picture as well. Again, I'll get a little bit more in depth with this, but just very, very unique resort. And I'll talk also probably one of our best amenities on the island next to our sunrises is the walkability to everything within the island. You walk down the street and you have multiple restaurants, bars, live music, which are all open right now, by the way. Please social distance, but they're all open. Lots of things to do for the kids, water sports, etc. I'll get into that a little bit more as we get into the next slides. JT, if you don't mind going to the next slide, please. Thank you so much. So I don't want to spend too much time on this, but this is obviously a very important part of what all resorts are doing right now. So IHG, and our parent company, and Kempton, we have what's called So Fresh, So Clean. So our IHG was a little bit ahead of the game when it came to the fact of cleanliness and sanitation. We were already working with Eco Lab to grow our sanitation and make everything cleaner prior to COVID. So once COVID hit, we had a little bit of a head start on everybody else. We were able to get new products from Eco Lab into our hotels and resorts. And this isn't just Kempton. This, as many of you probably know, IHG is Holiday Inn, IHG's Intercontinental Hotels and Resorts. So we were able to move a little bit quicker. Many of the things are things that you're already familiar with. Wearing your mask inside, it's mandatory at all properties that you wear your mask inside, mandatory to social distance. But we've kind of taken it a step further with our products that we get from Eco Lab. So we do clean every public area every single hour. And it's really made a difference for us from our safety. We get this question multiple times a day. And we're very confident. If you are outside, which again, as you just saw from my view, and you are eating or drinking, you are not mandated to wear your mask. But everyone really respects it. The resort has done really, really well. Being able to work with this, even with Florida being a little bit more open than most states, we still keep it very, very safe at the resort. So if you don't mind going to the next slide, please. So this is my favorite slide. So as you can see, if you look at where it says JC Park and go just south of that, where it says Sexton Plaza, that's where our resort is located, about a block north of Sexton Plaza. And the reason I really love showing this slide is because it puts into perspective the resort and where we are and what we have to offer. So where you see JC Park right next to the Atlantic Ocean, and then you go south to where it says Humiston Park, that's roughly about a mile. If you then look over to your left-hand side, over to the Indian River, that's about another mile. So you're talking about a 1 mile by 1 mile radius that you have dozens of restaurants, bars, live music, water sports. We have the Riverside Theater. Again, I don't want to steal Thomas's thunder, the foodie. I know he's going to get into some of the phenomenal restaurants in the area. Hopefully ours is in there. but we do have a lot to offer. On top of that, we have the Vero Beach Art Museum. So within that 1 mile by 1 mile radius, very, very walkable. You've got dozens of restaurants, bars, boutique shops. There's a lot to do. Most people get in to their vehicle and arrive at our property, and they never get into their car again until they leave. So huge, huge, huge benefit on the island, as you all know, of being able to just go out and walk. Even though we have lots to offer here at the resort, I encourage people every day to go out and explore, and that's really what keeps people coming back to the property. So if you can go to the next slide, please. And then this is just a quick, some amazing pictures. So that picture to the left, that's where I'm standing right now. That's where I just gave you the ocean view. You're actually looking right into where I'm standing. Up, if you can go back real quick, JT. Perfect. There we go. Thank you. So to the left, that's Heaton. So that's one of our 2 oceanfront restaurant. And if you look in that same picture just to the right of where that seating is in the distance, that is Cobalt. So that's our 2 restaurants. Again, Heaton's is very seafood centric at night. You know, grilled whole lobster, seared scallops, very, very fresh local seafood. Cobalt in the distance is a little more meat centric. We have a farm in the Midwest, a ranch, I guess they call it technically, in the Midwest that sends us meat on a weekly basis. Oh, Thomas, thank you. Heaton's is his favorite place. You're making my job easy. So, and then when you see that fire pit as well, that's one of 3 oceanfront fire pits. So that it's just, they were really smart on how they spread out the restaurants, the rooms, etc. So if you look to the top right, since I was talking about Cobalt, that top right picture is Cobalt. That's, again, it's breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Heaton's is lunch and dinner, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But at night, it turns into a steakhouse. So 6 to 8 cuts of meat, wet and dry aged, your typical accompaniments that you would think, chimichurri, etc., for a steakhouse. Going right below it, and I'm sorry, guys, that it's really small, but if you look right below the Cobalt picture, that's our oceanfront 1-bedroom suite. So, and again, it's not unusual that you have a suite with a full kitchen. Very normal here. We're a unique property in that respect. So you can fit a lot of people into one room. We have a lot of our rooms that have 2 beds with a queen pull-out couch, 3 beds with a queen pull-out couch. It's very, 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 very unique in that aspect. And then below that is just one of my favorite shots. It's from a boat out in the ocean back to the resort. And then to the right is actually my completely favorite picture at the resort. And as Kirk, the director of tourism, will tell you, one of our best amenities, that's a sunrise shot from our pool, looking over the pool deck out to the ocean at sunrise. Do a lot of sunrise weddings here on this side as well. So anyway, guys, that's my best pictures. I think we have a little montage video for you to look at as well, if you don't mind. And I'll let this play a little bit. This just kind of gives you a view of the resort. We're picking up coconuts here constantly. That's always fun. Who wants them? That's our library, which is upstairs. They're going to show you some of Chef Winston's food here in a minute. That's mahi mahi. So this actually was a piece we did with the Canadian Weather Network. We sent this to, I know there's a couple of our Canadian friends on the line. We sent this up north to the Canadian Weather Network and played this during January and February. I'm guessing to torture them. I don't know exactly what it did. We get a lot of Canadians down here. So this is our pink Himalayan sea salt room in White Orchid Spa, 6,000 square foot luxury meta spa. And there's some mahi mahi that Chef Winston created. So anyway, thank you all again so much for your time. We can't thank you enough. Anyone has any questions, please let me know, and reach out to me direct or through Kirk, please.
All right, thank you so much, Lee. And the Kempton is such a beautiful place to stay and see the sunrise in the morning. But also another really neat thing about our area is that you can actually watch the rocket launches too, right on the beach, right, Lee?
That's correct. It's kind of funny because we'll forget about it sometimes, shame on us, and then everybody will come running into our office and say, they're about to launch the rocket. Come, everybody come outside, and we all run outside and we watch the rocket launch. You literally can see not only the rocket, but the fire coming out of the side. Cape Canaveral's roughly an hour drive away, but it looks like it's right up the beach from us when the rockets go off.
Yeah, definitely not something you can experience anywhere else in the country. But every time I go to one of these hotels, the hospitality, the views, and the service are just incredible. What is it about these hotels in our area that makes this experience so special to our guests?
Thank you, Kat.
And then can you also tell me a little bit about your Paddles by the Sea partnership?
Sure, yeah. So one of our best partners is Paddles by the Sea. We hired Chris, our buddy at Paddles by the Sea. They do all of our water sports in front of the resort. So when you saw those videos at the beginning where you saw the shipwreck, you saw the people paddling around it, stand-up paddle, kayak, Chris at Paddles by the Sea is our water sports guy with his team. And we do stand-up paddle, we do kayak, we do boogie boards for the kids. And we also do, you go to Miami and you want to buy a cabana, it's probably $500,000, $1,000 a day. We have cabanas here that you can get all day for $75 a day. So a phenomenal partner, what a great amenity. I actually think that later the shipwreck is in another video later, but I know that we'd be happy to share it with you, and please come see us at the Kimpton Vero Beach Hotel and Spa.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Up next, we have Nicole Johansson with Mel Fisher Treasure Museum. Jay. Oh wait, I'm sorry. Next up is Kendra Cope with Coastal Connections, Inc. I got my things mixed up. Okay, you get to see turtles now.
Turtles! I mean, we could talking about turtles. Sorry about that. Everyone. Well, I'm really excited to be here to share this great FAM event with all of you and to be able to talk about the beautiful area that is Vero Beach in Indian River County. My love for protecting sea turtles stemmed from a family vacation back in 8th grade. I was out snorkeling the island of Maui and an adult green turtle swam right up to me, looked at me, really, really stared down at me, and then just turned and swam away. But, I've been amazed at their majestic dinosaur nature ever since. And then through my academic career, it's become more and more obvious to me that conservation extends far beyond science. It's policies, management, the science, but most importantly, how you as an individual person fits into the picture if you're not the one doing the science, policy making, and day-to-day management. And so that idea is the groundwork for coastal connections. So to start, we must introduce the idea of ecotourism. Next slide. Thanks, JT, for doing all this. So to define ecotourism, it can be defined as the responsible travel and to natural areas that conserves the environment, sustains the well-being of the local people, and involves interpretation and education. And that last point is key. Next slide. So what natural amenities does Indian River County provide that can be incorporated into ecotourism? Well, we have 22.4 miles of beach at Atlantic Ocean side coastline. We're nestled into the middle of the most diverse estuary in Florida, the Indian River Lagoon. Our county has built approximately 20 artificial reefs for diving and fishing. We have miles upon miles of hiking trails. And for the bird lovers out there, every year birds of all shapes and sizes migrate down during the winter to use our coastal area as resting grounds. So, and then of course, my favorite part is that our beaches are home to over 8,000 sea turtle nests each year. And that number continues to grow and grow. So, but why does that happen? It happens because of you, the people that visit here, the people that live here, and the people that engage in conservation. Next. So I won't read this horrifically, slide full of words, but I do want to point out a couple key things about ecotourism and how sea turtles can be incorporated into that effort. First, we know that travelers who exhibit increased concern regarding environmental and cultural impacts are more likely to choose low-impact sustainable travel options. We know that the ecotourism industry is rapidly growing and has emerged as one of the most important sectors of the tourism industry, period. And eco-minded travelers are willing to spend a lot more money, 18 to 32% more, for their eco-friendly travels, and they also leave a much smaller footprint behind when they leave. Next. So when we look at sea turtle-based ecotourism research, we have been able to learn that the revenue obtained from turtle-based tourism actually contributes back to the conservation of the species, and has also been shown to be helpful for raising tourist awareness and appreciation for these turtles. And remember that key component of ecotourism, the reason because of that is that additional education and interpretation. So we've also learned that ecotourism programs provide focused around protected species like sea turtles, impels increased levels of travel and attracts more responsible visitors that then infuse more funds into our local economy. Next. So let's put that last statement into action, right? Back in 2014, 2 different scientific groups evaluated sea turtle ecotourism here locally in Indian River and Brevard County. And what they both found is that the effort of ecotourism has been providing wonderful benefits. These studies have shown that guests of these immersive programs are more likely to feel connected to the focal species and will end up reacting by changing their behaviors to a more conservation-minded one. And these studies have documented that visitors came in 2014 from 9 countries outside of the United States just to come to our backyard, the Archie Carr National Wildlife Refuge, to see sea turtles in the summer. And in that one trip, that collectively contributed over $250,000 in a 2-month time span. So it is an important piece of our local economy. Next. Oh goodness. So all of these concepts are where coastal connections and then the human dimension of conservation of sea turtles all come together. Next. I'm sure it's still going. So CC Inc. or Coastal Connections is a 501c3 nonprofit where influencing sustainable behavior changes is incorporated into everything that we do using our educational messages. Our mission is to protect coastal habitats by educating and connecting people to the environment. And we have a vision to be a driving force for environmentally friendly and sustainable practices that lead to the recovery of sea turtles. So to do this, we have focused our resources on 3 different approaches, or what we call initiatives. These being Turtle Trackers, Vero Goes Zero, and our Sea Turtle Friendly Certified Initiative. So since you're not here with us and we can't talk to you all day long, because I promise, we're just going to focus on highlighting some of the programs we offer that contribute to the conservation of sea turtles and ecotourism in our area. Next. So the first is our immersive experiences, and this is something that we truly pride ourselves on. We ensure that we're constantly enhancing these opportunities for the betterment of our guests and our turtles. So daytime turtle digs are offered during the months of July and August. They are a short 45-minute experience that starts at 8 o'clock in the morning right here on the beaches of Vero. And guests come to watch our team evaluate hatched nests as we determine the success rate of those nests. And during that, we provide an educational presentation highlighting ways you can incorporate conservation into your daily actions. And at the very end, we release any leftover hatchlings as they need to go back to the ocean. And we now offer these events virtually, and since then have been able to reach an incredible audience year after year. Next. Now, nighttime turtle walks are a more traditional experience that many of you may have heard of before. And due to their capacity requirements, they're offered by a far larger number of permitted sea turtle organizations along Florida's East Coast. And you can see here listed on the screen a number of those organizations on top of Coastal Connections that do offer these immersive experiences. So you can come visit and get to experience this with a number of folks. But these experiences begin at 9 o'clock at night, and they extend sometimes until midnight, where the group is led onto the beach following an educational presentation to observe a mother loggerhead as she makes her nest of approximately 110 eggs, camouflages them so they're safe and sound in a foot and a half or 2 in the beach, and then heads all the way back to the sea so that she can do this whole entire process again and again. So these experiences are scheduled for the months of June and July, and signups begin online in May directly through any and all of these organizations, including ours. But imagine if you're an eco-minded traveler coming to Indian River to see turtles and experience other natural amenities. It's very likely that you're going to want to lodge in or visit an accommodation that strives to support the nature that you're coming to visit. Next. And so this is where Sea Turtle Friendly Certified was developed. 2021 is our pilot year, and we've had a lot of interest for this initiative and a lot of help from the Chamber, and they've been a wonderful partner. And for this inaugural year, we chose to focus on the hospitality industry itself and we'll hopefully in the future expand to other industries. So certified businesses must meet a list of rigorous environmental requirements that fall within these 4 main categories, one being natural beaches, sea turtle friendly lighting, sustainability, and the last is education. Next. So to showcase one of the properties that's part of the certification initiative, this is Costa de Este Hotel. You heard about it with the Estefans earlier in the presentation. They have, so they are currently one of our candidates, and as an example to the requirements they must meet, they've chosen to put blackout shades in every single room. They've changed all of their lights to red and amber outdoor bulbs. They've added shade cloths along their beach fence in order to block any light along the pool area. They have chosen to remove all recreational equipment daily off the beach to provide a clean and natural area for nesting. They are going to be hosting an annual coastal cleanup every year, and they are providing sea turtle education in every room. Also making social media posts about sea turtle nesting season, the first of those being today. And they are offering recycling on the room and on campus. And throughout the rest of this year, they will be phasing out single-use plastics across their entire campus. They will also undergo multiple inspections this year to ensure continued compliance with the certification all throughout the entire year. And at the end of the sea turtle nesting season, they will be awarded a 2020 certification award. Next. So to wrap up our discussion about ecotourism and the immersive experiences we can offer here in Indian River, I want to challenge you to figure out what is your next outdoor adventure because we all know that you're going to want to come here after today's FAM event. So start looking to book your trip today. Next. So my question to you is, will those experiences include exploring the Environmental Learning Center, going to visit the nation's first wildlife refuge, going out to kayak Blue Cypress Lake, going fishing at Sebastian Inlet State Park, hiking the conservation lands like Captain Forester's Park, joining a turtle dig with us in the summer, going out to dive the shipwreck everyone keeps talking about, paddleboarding the Indian River Lagoon, or going all the way down to our Round Island Park to view manatees. Whatever it is, we most importantly want you to come visit and hope that you celebrate our special area of sea turtle nesting by staying at one of our sea turtle friendly establishments. Next. And here's all the contact info, and we hope that you follow our social media, and thanks again for letting me be here.
Thank you so much, Kendra. That was a great presentation, and I'm definitely a nature lover myself, and I've been out to the turtle digs and the beach cleanups, and it's just a great experience with all the volunteers that show up. You have so much great support in the community. And speaking of all of the events, what upcoming events do you have going on that we can look forward to?
This is a super exciting time. We do have an events calendar, which you can see listed here on the screen. And up in April is going to be a very busy month for us. Our largest fundraiser of the year is designed to kick off and celebrate sea turtle nesting season by providing an educational and family fun event called the Tipsy Turtle 2 Mile. So it's a 2-mile fun run race that also includes a cute little hatchling dash for our young runners out on the beach as they dash around threats and predators. And then there's also the adult friendly beach bash at the end as well. And again, that's going to be April 10th, and we would love to have everyone come out and join us. And then we have another one of our really big coastal cleanups down at Round Island Park on April 24th. And so we really encourage people from all over our community to come join us on those coastal cleanup days. And it'll be a perfect time to celebrate Earth Day, which is coming up in April as well. So we're very excited about that.
Well, I'll make sure to mark that on my calendar, and that sounds like a great event. So thank you so much, Kendra. Up next, we have Nicole Johansson with Mel Fisher Treasure Museum.
A dreamer, a visionary, a legend, Mel Fisher wants to share his sunken shipwreck discoveries with you. Today's the day to visit Mel Fisher's Treasure Museum to discover the fun, romance, and adventure. Each piece we recover goes through an extensive conservation process. We're passionate about bringing forth historic treasures to the world. Come to the source for your authentic shipwreck treasure, where you too can own a piece of history. Stop by today.
All right, you're on mute, I think. Oh no, can't hear you. I think it's Control A that allows you to unmute and mute. There's a little button at the top. Let's see. All right, perfect. You're off mute.
Okay, so
Thank you.
everybody hear me now?
Yes, perfect. Thank you.
Okay, I started having technical difficulties in my computer during Kendra's segment, and yeah, I can't see like my mute screen, the chat box, or any of the people. I can just see the share screen. So that's the most important part. So that's good. I want to let everybody know that. So yeah, I'm Nicole Johansson, the director of Mel Fisher's Treasure Museum. The Mel Fisher's Treasure Museum had its grand opening in 1992. We're located right in the historic riverfront district of Sebastian. We have a spectacular collection of shipwreck artifacts that were discovered over the last 5 decades. Our exhibit's main features, our artifacts recovered from 2 different fleets of shipwrecks that sank in hurricanes in 1622 and 1715. And you can go to the next slide starting here, JT, and just let it run. The 1715 fleet of 11 ships sank right here on our coast. And the discovery of these ships is how the Treasure Coast got its name. Over 14 million pesos worth of treasure went down with this fleet, and these shipwrecks have been being salvaged by Mel Fisher and his crews since the early 1960s and are still producing treasure to this day. In fact, last year alone, recoveries include over 700 pieces of 8, 4 gold doubloons, several gold rings, a silver cup, and magnificently, the missing wing to an ornate gold religious pelican that was found years ago. The dive sites of the 1715 fleet are extremely close to shore and therefore are notoriously difficult to work in the winter months due generally to rough seas and poor visibility. So because of this, my grandfather shifted his focus to the Nuestra Senora de Atocha of the 1622 fleet, which was known to have been lost in the Florida Keys. After research from the archives of the Indies in Seville, Spain, revealed the approximate location, he started a new expedition looking for this heavily laden galleon with over 40 tons of gold, silver, and copper. Although they were finding bits of treasure here and there, it just wasn't enough. He had the state government trying to claim his finds, impatient investors, and a starving crew, but he managed to keep everyone appeased with his uplifting and positive attitude. And he preached his mantra daily, today's the day, and he had everyone keeping the faith. Finally, after 16 years of dedication, perseverance, personal tragedy, and many trials and tribulations, they finally found the mother lode of the Atocha in 1985. Mel really put treasure hunting on the map as an industry, and our company has set the standards for best practices in salvaging. We're still searching for the remaining cargo of the Atocha, which is valued at approximately $300 million, and that does not include the untold amount of contraband and smuggled fortunes. When my grandfather discovered the Atocha, it was considered the shipwreck of the century, and it made international news. Since then, and still to this day, our story has been in countless newspaper articles, periodicals, books, and other publications, as well as featured in numerous documentaries, including National Geographic, the Discovery Channel, and the History Channel. They even made a movie about the Mel Fisher story called Dreams of Gold, starring Cliff Robertson and Loretta Swit. Mel Fisher is a household name in this industry, and he has inspired so many for so many different things. For example, this brew that was locally brewed by Paradolia, it's called Mel's Gold. I'm not sure if you can see that, but that's the beer I'm enjoying today. It's called Mel's Gold. My grandmother, also a treasure in her own right, inspired many women to scuba dive when she set the world record for underwater endurance. She stayed underwater for 54 hours and 37 minutes. So although our business is pretty unique and there's not a whole lot of representation worldwide, Indian River County has many wonderful museums. It actually has 2 treasure museums. So there's another museum called the McClarty Museum, which is built on the site of a 1715 Fleet Survivors Camp. And the museum is owned by the state of Florida and houses a few of the thousands of artifacts that we have donated to the state over the decades, and also includes history of the locals' eyes natives during that time. So when you visit our museum, we offer a 22-minute long introductory film that gives an outline of how Mel got started in the industry, what he and his crew accomplished over the years, and what we are up to today. As you tour through the museum, you will learn quite a bit about why the ships were sailing along our coast and what was in their cargo holds. You'll get a great lesson about the life and legacy of Mel Fisher himself, as well as what all goes into salvaging treasure, everything from the research to the discovery, the archaeology, the recovery, the legalities, conservation, and preservation. After you've wound your way through our museum exhibits, you'll find yourself in our nautical gift shop, the Bounty Room, where you can rent a metal detector and go find some treasure of your own. We really try to encourage locals, tourists, hobbyists, kids, or anyone just looking for some fun, romance, and adventure to get out and metal detect our beautiful beaches. It's not only good exercise, technically a beach cleanup, but also an opportunity to scan for and hopefully find treasure along the beaches of the Atlantic coast, which are known to relinquish remnants of the 1715 fleet shipwreck. If you want to own a piece of history right there and then, we also sell authentic pieces of 8 gold doubloons, along with the certificates of authenticity, museum quality recreations, as well as other gifts and educational items. We have a little something for everyone, from $1 trinkets for children to, well, how much you got. So, you know, it's fun for all ages. We also are very kid friendly. We have a little treasure hunt that we give to kids when they come in, and it's a scavenger hunt. They get to find items throughout the museum, as well as answer little riddles and stuff, things that they've, you know, learned as they've gone through. We have a small admission fee, as you can see our brochure there. But are you ready to go find some treasure?
I am. Thank you, Nicole. I remember when I was little and I visited the museum, it got me so excited. So I actually bought my own metal detector, and we actually went to the playgrounds to look for treasure, not the the beach, and we got all the loose coins out of kids' pockets. But other than that, we did get a question on our chat box. It says, "Is your museum like the one in Key West?"
Oh, we get that question quite often, and no, I'd say they're very different. The Key West Museum is it's a maritime museum, so it's geared towards, you know, all of maritime history, not just the shipwrecks. And it's also the exhibit that is, you know, related to Mel Fisher is strictly about the Atocha. Our museum here is really focused about, I would say, the life and legacy of Mel Fisher himself. From, you know, when he moved here in the 60s through his many, many years of salvaging and discovery, and all the history with the 1715 fleet is our main focus, because that is where we're located. We do feature a lot of stuff from the Atocha as well, but the 1715 fleet is local to us, and that's our local history. So that's kind of our main feature.
Okay, let's see. We've got someone that's saying, Charles is saying, "I'm ready to find that $300 million treasure. It sounds more fun than buying Powerball tickets." It does. It's way more fun.
Your odds are probably about the same. It's a big ocean.
All right. And do you have a favorite piece in the museum?
Yeah, we have one piece that is just so interesting. It's called the Poison Cup. And, you know, we've found quite a few of them over the years, but it's a golden cup, and it's very intricately made. And inside there is a place to put a stone. And we've actually found several of these stones as well. And it's actually not a precious stone like what you would think, but like the gull stone of a two-stomached animal. So nothing precious about that. But supposedly when you dip the stone into the contents of the cup, it would absorb the poison that was, if there was poison in it. Because, you know, back then, everyone was trying to poison somebody. So the royalty who drank from this cup, you know, had this special stone that was supposed to absorb the poison. So it's just such an interesting piece, and so much history and, you know, a lot of research and archaeology that went into finding out about what is this thing that we just found. We didn't know, you know. So that's pretty cool. And we have a stone and the cup on display.
And you also had that gold bar that you used to have, and you could pick it up and feel it and see how heavy it was. And that was really neat to see an actual gold bar like that and having that ability to touch it. Kendra said, "Better exercise than buying lotto tickets." That's funny. All right, so thank you so much, Nicole. And I hope you're hungry for more, because last up is Thomas Miller with the Treasure Coast Foodie.
Well, people normally visit this area because of our tropical climate and our pristine, uncrowded beaches. Food tourism should definitely be on your list of reasons why you should vacation in Indian River County. With over 150 locally owned restaurants, way more than the chains, There is something here to please just about any foodie. First, we're going to go to the north part of our county to Sebastian. Sebastian's a big boating town, so a lot of our restaurants there are located right on the water. Most, if not all, have a boat dock, so you can pull up, tie off, and actually go dine inside the restaurant. Two of our county's 4 craft breweries, Mash Monkey Brewing and Paradolia Brewing, are located here and offer a wide variety of craft brews to choose from, live entertainment, and weekly food truck events. The dish you are seeing and drooling over in the video right now is beef oxtails with rice and beans, as prepared by award-winning chef Wesley Campbell of Mobay Grill. We're going to go to the middle of our county now, just a little farther south of Sebastian, called Fellsmere. Take a trip with me back to Old Florida and let's check out Marsh Landing Restaurant. This area is known for its southern style cuisine, offering chicken and dumplings, fried green tomatoes, catfish, gator tail, and frog legs, as you're seeing in the video right now. Has anybody tried frog legs before? They really do taste like chicken. This area also plays host to the county's largest annual foodie event, the Frog Leg Festival, where you can chow down on frog legs, check out the carnival rides, and shop the local exhibitors selling their handmade goods. This year, they just celebrated their 30th anniversary. So now as we go just a little farther south into Vero Beach, well, our downtown area may be small. It's absolutely jam-packed with locally owned restaurants with cuisines that range from seafood, Italian, Southern, sushi, Japanese, tacos, Irish, high-end steakhouse, wood-fired pizza, a taste of Chicago, Hawaiian, coffee houses, and a donut shop. You definitely have a lot of choices there. On the barrier island, you also won't find any chain restaurants, which is something special about this area. Two of our signature resort hotels, Kimpton Vero Beach Hotel and Spa that Lee talked about earlier, and Costa Belleza, both have award-winning restaurants with outdoor dining options and incredible views of the Atlantic Ocean. Every year we have several food festivals that happen, so I'd like to mention just a few of those. Florida Craft Brew and Wing Fest is attended by 5,000 to 7,000 people every year. Shrimp Fest and Craft Brew Hullabaloo, which I believe is coming up soon, up in Sebastian. The Vero Beach Wine and Film Festival, Sebastian Lionfish Fest, Treasure Coast Wine and Ale Trail, as mentioned previously. That's an ongoing year-round self-guided tour, which features all of the craft breweries in Indian River County and a few more on the Treasure Coast. Just a little bit more about me. Every year I write an article called the Golden Fork Awards, where I highlight the top 10 best dishes I tasted over the past year, chef and restaurant of the year as well. I host an annual event to honor these winning restaurants, invite a bunch of people, and we all get to taste food from those restaurants in one evening. I've also got a new project I'm working on. We're currently in the planning stages for a Vero Beach Food and Wine Festival. I hope to kick that off this summer, and with a projected date of spring of 2022. We will feature local restaurants, craft breweries, and have live music. I've also, in 2019, created a diners club, something known as Savor Club. I work with locally owned restaurants to negotiate a deal so my members save money every time they dine with them. Members can save up to 50% off, buy one, get one, or get an item free every single time they dine at the restaurant. Memberships start at only $5 per month. One of our newest ventures was partnered with a local restaurant called Cilantro Cafe and Wine Bar, and we're offering a Wine of the Month club. Wines are selected from the owners, Jane and Michael, from wineries that are focused on creating the highest quality of wine, many of which are organic. Our members can enjoy 1, 2, 3, or 4 bottles per month. I also write for, and you can find my content on visitindianrivercounty.com, verobeach.com, and the Inside Track Almanac, which is a print magazine. It's printed quarterly with over 20,000 copies distributed on the Treasure Coast. As you're viewing here on the screen right now, you'll see this is the Chef Bros, which is a local farm to table dinner featuring the cuisine of Chef Michael Lander from a local restaurant known as Michael's on Set. So that's my presentation. Here's my contact information. If you would like more information about food tourism in this area, I encourage you to reach out to me. I'd be happy to answer any of your questions. Thank you all very much for being here.
All right, thank you so much, Thomas. Now we're all hungry. So we're going to answer just a few questions. Can you tell me about any unique food experiences here in Indian River County?
Well, of course, Shack Groves that we talked about, that is a very unique opportunity. The event actually starts in the orange groves, and there's a local brewery called Orchid Island Brewery that comes out and then actually brews beer for the event. So you get to taste the beer, hang out in the orange groves, and have a few appetizers. And then the dinner actually moves a little further onto their property with a covered pavilion. The chairs are all unique and different. The table is usually post-COVID or pre-COVID, it was all one table where everybody sits, usually up to 70 or 75 people at this dinner. And the food is prepared right there on the farm as you're walking by. You saw some of the photos. It is truly a unique, one-of-a-kind experience that if you are ever here, you definitely need to check out.
Awesome. And if you're looking for great food with a really good view, what would you recommend for anyone coming to Indian River for the first time?
Both hotels on the ocean, the Vero Beach Kimpton Hotel, their restaurant, Cobalt and Heaton's, both have oceanfront views. And Costa de Este, I mean, you're both steps from the sand at both of those places. And, it's just spectacular.
Another one of my favorites is Ocean Grill. They have a really great menu, great appetizers and drinks. That's one of my favorites. And we did get one question in the chat. It might be more of a Kendra question though. So Kendra, could you tell me about the Lionfish Festival and maybe about how as a species it's good to do that kind of event and spread awareness like that?
Absolutely. And not to take any of the transition from Thomas over here, who's done a great job introducing us to a mouth-watering plethora of delicious dishes out there. But making lionfish a delicious dish was the entire goal of the Lionfish Festival. And it actually goes down to the roots of Coastal Connections. That was one of the very first events we were ever a part of and helped build to help save and protect our coastal habitat. And the ultimate goal with this was not just the removal of lionfish, the invasive lionfish from our artificial reef areas in our Indian River Lagoon, but also how do you involve the person, the human, in conservation? And who knew that you as a human could be the best conservationist by filling your bellies with invasive lionfish? Like, you never could have imagined that by you being really hungry, you're actually doing a good job to save the environment, as long as you're eating lionfish, because they don't belong in our waters. And so the ultimate goal of the festival was to engage local restaurants by us providing a giant amount of lionfish. They cooked lionfish only dishes, put them on tiny little servings, and then every guest as part of the festival had to go eat every single dish. And then they voted for their favorite dish. So when we say that Mobe Grill was the winner of the 2019 Lionfish Festival, it's because of the 600 plus people that voted in that Lionfish Festival. They had the most votes for favorite dish, and they hit it a phenomenal jerk lionfish dish. I cannot even imagine. Like, I cannot. He was so great. And then on top of that, we had a lionfish removal tournament and some other just really fun and interactive educational experiences to teach people how to fillet lionfish at home, and introducing other fish markets where they can go and ask for lionfish to bring back home for their own self-made dinners. So be a conservationist and eat lionfish. That's all I can say.
That's great. And I'm sure it's delicious too. Bringing it back to Tom, you do some events around the community to kind of give people an idea of what they're getting at these restaurants. And I know I've attended a few of them at Armani, American Icon. Can you tell me a little bit about those events?
Sure. We do currently monthly events at local restaurants. We limit the attendance to about 36 people. I do charge for that. And it's basically a foodie meetup where we have people get together at the restaurants, and their ticket price that gets them in the door reserves their seat and also helps purchase multiple appetizers. So as a group, we've got more buying power than they would if they walked in with $5 or $10 themselves. And we purchase usually 2 to 3 different appetizers. You get a little sampling of that, so you can taste and learn more about the food at that particular restaurant. Most restaurants, are happy to have us there. Obviously, we've been doing most of these out on outdoor patios just because of COVID. Most people are more comfortable right now. But the restaurants love it. Gets them a chance to show off a little bit and have a little bit of fun. And then, people buy dinner and drinks. So it really helps support each restaurant as much as possible during these difficult times.
All right, awesome. And I love those events and I'm looking forward to the next one. So if you're ever in Indian River County, be sure to look up Tom's website and information because it's really a great way to get just a little taste of the best things at those restaurants and to get you out there and eating really, really good food in Indian River County.